13 Reasons Why isn't just a story. It's a gut punch, a mirror reflecting the harsh realities teenagers face every day. This powerful narrative follows Hannah Baker, a high school student who tragically takes her own life. But Hannah doesn't leave quietly. She leaves behind 13 cassette tapes, each addressed to a person who contributed to her devastating decision. These tapes become a map, guiding listeners through Hannah's pain and unraveling the intricate web of events that led to her suicide. 13 Reasons Why is a harrowing exploration of bullying, betrayal, and the devastating consequences of silence. It's a story that stays with you long after the tapes end. Hannah Baker is gone, but her voice lives on. Through the cassette tapes we hear her pain, her anger, her desperation. Each tape is a confession, a plea for understanding, a chance for Hannah to finally tell her story. We experience high school through Hannah's eyes, feeling the sting of each betrayal, the weight of each rumor, the isolation that slowly consumes her. The tapes are Hannah's truth, raw and unfiltered. They offer no easy answers, no clear villains. Instead, they paint a complex picture of human interaction, where seemingly small actions can have devastating consequences. Hannah's voice, preserved on these tapes, is a haunting reminder of the power of words and the importance of empathy. Clay Jensen is an ordinary high school student, thrust into an extraordinary situation. His life takes a dramatic turn when he receives a mysterious package containing cassette tapes recorded by Hannah Baker, a classmate who recently took her own life. Each tape is addressed to a different person, and Clay is shocked to find his name among them. The tapes reveal the reasons why Hannah decided to end her life, and each person on the list played a part in her tragic story. Clay is haunted by his connection to Hannah's death, desperate to understand his role in this tragedy. He isolates himself, listening to the tapes in the solitude of his room, grappling with the weight of Hannah's words. As he listens to the tapes, he's forced to confront not only Hannah's pain but also the actions of his classmates and his own inaction. Each tape peels back another layer of the story, revealing the hidden struggles and secrets of those around him. Clay becomes our guide through Hannah's story, his journey mirroring our own as we grapple with the events unfolding. We see the high school through his eyes, a place filled with hidden pain and unspoken truths. His guilt, his confusion, his anger resonate deeply, reminding us that we're not just observers in this story, we're participants. We feel his frustration as he uncovers the harsh realities of teenage life and the impact of seemingly small actions. Clay's emotional journey forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world around us. His story is a powerful reminder of the importance of empathy, understanding, and the profound effect our actions can have on others. The tapes introduce us to a cast of characters, each touched by Hannah in different ways. Justin Foley, the popular athlete, grapples with guilt over a lie that spiraled out of control, damaging Hannah's reputation. Alex Standall, struggling to fit in, makes a reckless decision that fuels the fire of rumors, further isolating Hannah. Jessica Davis, once a close friend of Hannah's, experiences the painful disintegration of their friendship, fueled by jealousy and misunderstanding. These characters, flawed and human, represent the complexities of teenage relationships. They show how easily kindness can turn to cruelty, how good intentions can pave the path to devastating consequences. Betrayal and isolation, Tyler, Courtney, and Bryce. These three names are etched into the painful narrative of Hannah's life, each contributing to her tragic downfall in their own unique and devastating ways. As the tapes continue, the betrayals cut deeper. Each revelation on the tapes peels back another layer of trust, exposing the raw wounds inflicted by those she once considered friends. Tyler Down, the school outcast, violates Hannah's privacy in a way that leaves her feeling exposed and humiliated. His actions are not just a breach of trust but a gross invasion of her personal space, capturing her in moments meant to be private. Courtney Crimson, driven by a need to protect her own reputation, spreads harmful rumors that further damage Hannah's standing. Her fear of being exposed leads her to betray Hannah, turning whispers into weapons that cut deep. And then there's Bryce Walker, the embodiment of privilege and entitlement, who commits a horrific act of sexual assault against Hannah, leaving her feeling utterly broken. His actions are a stark reminder of the unchecked power and the devastating consequences of such abuse. Each of these characters contributes to Hannah's growing sense of despair, pushing her further down a path of self-destruction. Their actions, whether driven by malice, fear, or indifference, create a toxic environment that suffocates her. Their actions, fueled by selfishness and a lack of empathy, highlight the devastating impact of power imbalances and the culture of silence that often protects abusers. This culture not only allows such behavior to persist but also isolates the victims, making them feel unheard and unseen. Scars unseen, bullying, mental health, and assault. These are the hidden wounds that many students carry with them every day, often unnoticed by those around them. 13 Reasons Why doesn't shy away from difficult topics. It dives deep into the harsh realities that many teenagers face, bringing these issues to the forefront of our attention. It shines a light on the pervasive nature of bullying, both in its overt and subtle forms. The exclusion, the gossip, and the silent treatment are all forms of bullying that can be just as damaging as physical aggression. The whispers, the rumors, the constant feeling of being judged, they create an environment of fear and anxiety. The cyberbullying, they all chip away at Hannah's self-worth, leaving her feeling alone and vulnerable. The anonymity of the internet can make these attacks even more vicious and relentless. The series also tackles the often misunderstood issue of mental health. It portrays the internal battles that many face, often hidden behind a facade of normalcy. Hannah's struggles are depicted with sensitivity, highlighting the importance of seeking help and the tragic consequences of suffering in silence. It shows that reaching out for support can be a crucial step towards healing. And then there's the brutal reality of sexual assault, depicted with unflinching honesty. The show doesn't shy away from the raw and painful truth of these experiences. Hannah's experience exposes the trauma, the shame, and the isolation that often follows such a violation. It brings to light the long-lasting impact that can haunt survivors for years, and the long-lasting impact of such a violation. The emotional scars can be just as deep and enduring as any physical wound. The show forces us to confront these uncomfortable truths, reminding us that silence only perpetuates the cycle of pain. It calls for empathy, understanding, and action to break the silence and support those who are suffering. Clay's journey: grief, guilt, and a search for justice. As Clay listens to the tapes, his own emotional journey unfolds. He grapples with grief over Hannah's death, guilt over his own perceived failures, and a growing anger towards those who hurt her. Clay's journey is a testament to the power of empathy. By stepping into Hannah's shoes, by truly listening to her story, he begins to understand the depth of her pain. This understanding fuels his desire for justice, his determination to hold those accountable for their actions. Clay becomes a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times we have the power to choose empathy, to fight for what's right, and to break the cycle of silence. 13 Reasons Why sparked conversations, ignited debates, and forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world around us. The show's unflinching portrayal of sensitive issues sparked controversy, but it also opened up dialogues about mental health, bullying, and sexual assault. Conversations that are crucial to creating a safer and more empathetic world. The show's message is clear. Our actions have consequences, words have power, silence can be deafening. 13 Reasons Why is a stark reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. 13 Reasons Why doesn't offer easy answers. It doesn't tie the story up with a neat bow. Instead, it leaves us with questions, with a sense of responsibility, with a call to action. The show challenges us to look beyond our own experiences, to cultivate empathy for those who are struggling, to reach out to those who feel alone. It encourages us to break down the barriers of silence, to speak up against injustice, to be upstanders instead of bystanders. 13 Reasons Why reminds us that even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a more compassionate and supportive world. Hannah Baker's story is a tragedy, but it's also a catalyst for change. By remembering Hannah, by honoring her pain, we can strive to create a world where her story is no longer repeated. Her legacy can be one of awareness, of understanding, of action. Let her story be a reminder to be kind, to be compassionate, to be the change we wish to see in the world. Let's honor Hannah's memory by creating a world where every voice is heard, where every life is valued, and where no one feels alone. While 13 Reasons Why paints a bleak picture of the realities some teenagers face, it also offers a glimmer of hope. Clay Jensen's journey, his transformation from bystander to upstander, reminds us that we all have the power to make a difference. By choosing empathy, by speaking out against injustice, by extending a hand to those in need, we can create a brighter future. 13 Reasons Why is a wake-up call, a reminder that we all have a responsibility to create a world where every life is valued, where every voice is heard, and where no one has to suffer in silence. Let Hannah's story be a catalyst for positive change, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can emerge.